Hello, welcome back to the Bad Moon Cafe YouTube channel. I'm Jasmine and today we're doing a deck building video. That's right, if you're in a sealed game, you'll have 6 boosters and I'm going to walk you through how I would build my 40 card deck in that scenario. I'm not the best deck builder in the world. I've won some sealed events. I've probably lost more than I've won, but I always have fun and that's what's important. This video is probably aimed at medium beginners, or even just beginners, or even just our regulars who want to be amused at how badly I do at deck building. Enjoy! Okay, so I've got my 6 boosters from the previous video and I'm immediately going to start sorting them into piles of color, creature, and non-creature. So, creatures. I will also separate artifact creatures, although that's a white artifact creature, so that can go with those. Creature. We may speed through this part. I will be doing this as quickly as physically possible. Ooh, multicolored. In an actual event, so I've got more time to think. Now, a lot of advice on deck building will say things like, look for your bombs straight away. Your bombs are your big, scary cards, your game-winning cards. Now, I actually sort everything before I do that. I'm
kind of vaguely looking for my bombs.
But it is more because sometimes you'll get to the end of putting everything into piles and you'll realize you've got like 4 cards of a color, and then you can immediately, unless you've got like a game-winning card and you want to splash that color, you can just take that out of your thinking and not have to worry about it, and you've whittled it down a little bit for yourself there. So you may or may not already know about things like mana curve. Oh, where are we? You want to have cards you can play in turns 1 and 2. You want to have cards you can play late game. So you want to, most of your useful cards in a sealed environment are probably going to cost you around 3 from my own game playing experience. Although if you're an experienced player and you're watching this, you may disagree. Always encourage people to comment because I am still learning. I've been playing this for years and I will never stop learning how to play this game. It is an epic game. So, vehicles. If you've been playing for a while, there'll be some mechanics you just avoid. Not because they're not powerful, but because you don't like playing them. You don't like who you become when you play them, and for me that is vehicles. Nice, right, I'm sorted. And now I'm gonna start going through and looking for my bombs. So you want big things, here's a big thing, nice. Another big thing. Also a lot of options in green here, another couple of biggies, nice. Only a couple of spells though. Ideally, if you can stick to 2 colors, I generally try to, just to keep things nice and simple for myself so I don't have to worry about mana fixing too much, although some sets are better for mana fixing than others. Vehicles, right. One thing to bear in mind also, obviously this is Phyrexia, all will be 1, but each set will have its mechanics and its themes, and if you can build a deck around one of the themes, in this one you've got proliferate and you've got toxic and whatnot, so counters. If you find you've got lots of cards that work with the themes of the set, you could build something with good synergy. Right. Now, if you're a brand new player, you're probably thinking, oh no, how do I even begin? So, in a sealed, you're building a 40 card deck. You want roughly 17 lands, you want roughly 15 creatures, and then you want roughly, how many does that leave you? 8 non-creature spells. And if you do that, and you have a decent mana curve, so a few cards, maybe 3 that cost 1, slightly more that cost 2, slightly more that cost 3 and 4, and then back down again in your more expensive cards to 1s or 2s of each. you've probably already made yourself a playable deck. You may not win, but you'll have something you can work with. Now, you want big scary things. I'm liking green already. You'll notice I've got almost no creatures in black, but quite a few spells. So that is one to maybe think about, because green has lots of creatures, but only a couple of spells. Those two together might be quite nice. I've got my favorite card in the white. Is it worth just playing that because I want to play it? Yes. If there are cards you just want to have a go playing, that is entirely a justified way to build your deck. Do I have anything else here that's good? Things that live. Lifelink, toxic, flying. I love flying. Flying is just useful. Right. So that's things to think about with your creatures. Now with your spells, you want removal. Just in life. In general, you want removal. Proliferate. Black. Make people sack things, nice. Death touch, indestructible, nice. Poison counters, okay. Sacks, lots of sack stuff. Useful for commander. Okay, got some nice removal in black. Why do you want removal? Because everyone else is also trying to build decks with creatures with evasion, and you want to get rid of them so they don't take away your life. Direct damage there in red. Making things not block. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, my instinct is black-green. I've got big green creatures, and I've got black removal spells. You know what? Yeah, sometimes a snap decision in this scenario is good. You have like, what, 50 minutes to build a deck in sealed? So, I should probably have looked at this longer, but I never do, and I also think that's okay. You may have seen some cards there and thought, why aren't you playing that? I would love to hear which cards you think I should have played. Creatures, non-creatures. What I'm going to do first, I pop my non-creatures aside, get these all together, and we're going to check out our mana curve. We're also going to just put to the side everything we know we definitely want. So this is part of the whittling process for me, and it's the bit that often is hardest. So I want him, he's awesome. It's all right, he costs 5, it's all right. It's got haste, it's quite good. Okay. Just pop these out. I can't count. Okay. So I'm mostly just seeing how expensive everything is. Now, 1-drops. Both useful. 1-drop's always useful. If you've got a couple, good. Even if they're not that powerful, they just give you a little bit of protection on the board whilst you're waiting to build your board state. Now, we've got lots of things with toxic. Flying toxic, love it. Oil counters are massive in both these colours, possibly all the colours. I really should have read all the cards. Turns out it's actually quite difficult to read, sort, and try and deck build at the same time while speaking. But I think we're getting there. Flying uncorrupted. I like corrupted. Poison counter decks are just going to become even more annoying in life. Okay. So, and this probably isn't how most people deck build, but I'm just going to count how many creatures I've got, because there's many situations where I've chosen my colours, I've put out my mana curve, and I've realised I've got exactly 15 creatures, so no whittling or sorting of any kind needs to happen. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I only need to whittle 4 cards. So, I want big killy things, I want things that play with counters, because that's kind of what I've lent into, and then I want a good mana curve. I've got a lot of 2-drops. Not bad if you're trying to flood the board, and green kind of wants to do that a little bit. Is my 6-drop Death Touch. ETBs makes each opponent discard, gains me life. Okay, that's staying in. Haste, Toxic 3/4/4, staying in. And 2 big cards. That's fine. 2 expensive big cards you may never play, or you will play and everyone will hate you. Love it. So for my 4-drops, I already know I want him, because he does all the things I want. Top 3 cards in library. That one plays with graveyards. I'm not doing much with graveyards at the moment, so I'm just putting that aside. Oil counters, +1 counters, toxic 2. Okay, they will play with what I want. Let's see. Proliferate. Get land to your hand. Flying corrupted. Oil counters. Keywords. All the keywords. Cool. Right, I'm probably going to have to get rid of a couple of these. Mana Dork. Useful. Sack stuff. Useful. Oil counters. Oh, I've got 2 of him. Oh, you know what? I like playing as many cards and playing everything like it's Commander with one of everything. So I'm just going to get rid of one of those. Flying Toxic. Toxic. Basic land cards searching. Pay 2 life. 2 life's actually quite a lot in a 20 life game. I'm going to get rid of that. But, okay. I've whittled down to 16. We'll see how the non-spells go, but for now, got a nice little curve going on. Leaning into the cheaper creatures. Bit of synergy. Love it. Okay. That's my creatures done. Now we're going to do pretty much the exact same thing with the non-creatures. Boom. 3, 2, 2. Didn't get excited enough about that in the pack opening. Read it properly now. Really good card. Right, also lands, gonna put them both in automatically. They don't get counted in this, they get counted in the lands. So I need 7 or 8 of these cards. Currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. I need to get rid of like 9 cards. Losing 3 life. You know what? I'm not going to do that in 20 life game. So I'm just going to put that to the side. Each opponent sacks something. Each opponent sacks something. Same again, as I said before. Going to play as many different cards as possible. Draw 2 cards. Card draw is always useful, especially when you're playing such cheap things. Destroy stuff, useful. Give something +2/+2 with flash. Ah. Also useful, but I don't actually play auras that often, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. That's too good not to have. Pay 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. You know what? In a 2-color game, I'm not gonna bother with that sort of thing. Corrupted, exile, toxic 2. Sack. Skull bombs. Don't love them. Just gonna get rid of those 3 completely. Equip creature, cheap, toxic 1. Okay, cool. How many have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? I'll use 16 rather than 17 lands. That's gonna be my 40 card deck. Thank you for watching. Yes, that was my deck. It turns out it's quite difficult to read, deck build, and talk at the same time, but I think I did okay and got most of the information across. Is there anything else you would have liked to have heard? And would you like to come to an event? Every Friday here at Bad Moon, we tend to alternate between a draft and a sealed. Tickets on the website. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, have a lovely day. Bye.